And now, the world's favorite E-grade team, the Beans.
Welcome to the
episode 2 of the NBeanA podcast, baby.
Imagine saying Locki could intro it and then just interrupting him.
Yeah, I know. Like, what the hell?
Nice move.
Hoetzel just being the starting short ass, being an idiot.
Literally, he's like, all right, we're going to do the intro. We're going to let Locki do it. And then Hoetzel goes, Beans!
But yeah, so, you know, as last time, you know, we like to talk about basketball here. And a lot happened this week, you know, starting NBA's back up. There's a lot to talk about. But first, of course, we like to talk about the Beans here. And we're going to be talking about our favourite players and all-time starting fives.
We're talking baked. We're talking green. We're talking...
Scrambled. No shit, that's not how you paint for it.
Scrambled beans.
Scrambled
beans.
Talking kidney.
We've just lost all of our listeners.
Yeah, Hoetzel, we're talking scrambled beans.
But before we get into that, I'd like to thank everyone who tuned into the first episode and put up with all the technical issues. We're still working through them.
Yes.
Hopefully it should be better this time. We've got a new recording
everyone.
software.
Yeah.
We got a better editor
later
now.
One on that
You know,
one.
we fired the old one. He's dead in a ditch somewhere.
We're blaming the start and short ass.
Look,
So-
I'll cop most of the blame. You know, like I
we know,
did edit
we know.
it. I missed a lot of fuck ups in that episode, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're past it. We're new people now. You know.
Okay.
That's the old me.
Yeah.
The new me doesn't fuck up. You know, he's perfect. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Just
But
spend
yeah,
the
no,
first 4
seriously,
minutes
like,
of a podcast talking about. I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, to the people that listened to the first one, like, thanks. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it was a bit fucky at points. But the bits that
Now-
weren't fucky were pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was good fun. I think we all enjoyed it, recording it as well. Like, I know that because for a lot of us it was the first time recording with a big group and stuff. We're all learning. We're all trying to have fun. So, yeah,
for
thanks
sure.
again. It was magic. Magic,
I'd call
magic,
it that.
magic.
Let's get
It's
into
a
it then.
kind of
Who wants to start
magic.
off?
So what are we doing
Fav-
first? Yeah, what are we
Favorite
talking
player
about
of all
first?
time.
Oh.
well,
Go around,
introduce
Locki.
yourself a little bit first. I feel like we brushed past that a bit last time. And, you know, we've all got our own personalities. So we should, like,
gross.
introduce
Even Connor?
ourselves a little bit. Barely. Come on. Last time you could only hear his personality half the time because he fucking killed his Discord halfway through.
Wait a minute,
He's
this
gone
isn't
now,
the
too.
Chin Watch podcast.
Well, all right, Brad.
Where am I?
Not gonna
You
respond to
went
this
last
shit.
last
Fuck
time.
you guys.
How about you tell us about yourself first?
So tell you guys about basketball stuff. So I'm Brad.
Hi, Brad.
Yes, I was hoping for that. So I started playing basketball around when I was 12. So I started watching when in like 2006,
Long
but I
time
didn't.
ago, wasn't it, Brad?
Yeah. So I would have started watching when I was about 11, and then playing footy to get fit for footy. Got into some basketball, and within the first season, I think I scored 12 points and was going to quit, but Dad said, "Go on, play another season, finish off the year." So it was year 6, I think it was. And I scored 12 points my first season. Second season, I was, I think, the second leading scorer of the league, and I dropped like 180 something.
Bloody
it was crazy.
fucking dark.
Yeah, bloody fucking dark. But yeah, I quit footy that year and focused on basketball. Went into rep pretty quickly. In my last school game that I was playing for school, someone from the Western Port Steelers said, "Hey, come play. You probably shouldn't be playing against these guys."
Hey, kid.
I went to
I like
rep.
what you got.
I like what you got. It was literally that type of moment. I didn't think I was very good enough for rep at all. But he got me in there. Played my whole way up to the seniors, so I ended up getting a call when I was 17 to go play CBL, which is the Country Basketball League. Played there for 2 years, and I also, mixed up with that, played for the big V, which is like probably like compare it to the VFL for the AFL sort of thing. Big V for Western Port as well, and yeah, went to Hawaii, got a bit chubby, and never came back, never recovered, and haven't played super
Never came back
serious
from
since
Hawaii.
then. What was that? Sorry,
He never came back from Hawaii.
never.
He
No,
went
never,
to Hawaii
never came
and he
forward.
got stuck.
It's actually still in
Got stuck
Hawaii.
there. I wish I was stuck. Wish I was stuck there in Hawaii. No, but yeah, came back, wasn't fit, and sort of got booted off the team pretty quick. But didn't play seriously for a while. Focused on getting a job and whatnot. And the last year or so, got back into it. The beans reinvigorated the love for basketball, and
And you dropped 12 points in a season again.
dropped 12 points in a season again. And yeah, we actually had a pretty interesting bean season. I reckon we should recap that once LeBron's introduced himself, actually, now thinking about it. But yeah, that's my basketball thing.
W.
W.
L.
Yes. It was a turbulent season for us. But yeah.
Turbulent
I'm
implies there was
half
actually
well.
ups as well.
I've also played against NBA players. I'm going to flex real quick. I've played against Dante Exum before when he was young. Get in there.
That is a big flex.
That's right. That's a big flex. Yeah.
How many points did he drop on you?
I can't even remember. I don't even remember him being that good. To be honest, I think he grew to 6'6" and you know obviously worked on his game and grew up, which was
You know, being like 6'6"
got pretty
generally
good.
helps a bit, doesn't it?
yeah 6'6", and yeah, main comparison coming out of college is Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, that's a
He's still a
decent-
chance. Don't count him out of it.
Don't count him out of it. His legs are counting him out of
Aussie
it.
passion.
But yeah, I'm going to pick someone else next. I'm going to pick. Let's go, Nathan Chinnick.
That's me. Sorry, I have beer in my mouth.
Bro, you're so lucky Brad spoke to you.
I know, right? Fuck. I never thought this day would come. Hi, I'm Nathan Chinnick.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Hello. In terms of basketball experience, not a lot. Used to play when I was like 10, maybe. I played for like a year. Wasn't bad at it. And the problem is I was playing with people
Who were also
that
10.
didn't pass me the ball because they were 10. And 10-year-olds don't like passing the ball because they want to be the one to get it in. So I gave up after a year because I got shitty that no one wanted to give me the ball. And then I kind of just never went back to it. But yeah, in terms of like NBA as well, like I've played in the NBA. No, but
Wow.
like this is kind of the return, at least, is kind of my first time like really getting into and watching the games live. Like that's never really been something that I've done. Like I've watched, you know, highlights and whatever over the past year, maybe two. But yeah, this is like my first chance to actually watch the games live and kind of like really get into it. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that, I guess. I guess the other thing too is that, yeah, as I said, with the technical difficulties that we had last week, that is basically my fault because I am in charge of all the technical shit here. That's more my forte than the basketball side of it, which makes a whole lot of sense to be on a basketball podcast and not know that much about it. But it's a learning experience for me, and I feel like I've already learnt a lot just watching the first 4 games has been well, there's been more than 4, but the first 4 that we could watch on live TV. Yeah, I don't know. I'm learning a lot already, and I have a lot to say about one of the games from yesterday and one from today, so I'm keen to talk about that. But yeah, if anyone else wants to go, I guess I'll pass it off to... Let's go, Hoetzel. Let's pass it off to him.
Good pass.
Howdy.
Good pass.
Howdy doody, boys. Let's see.
Who the
There
fuck
might be
walks
girls
into an
listening.
AA meeting and says howdy?
Girls listening. Oh, sorry.
What does that even mean?
I don't
sorry.
know.
Sorry.
It said something
Oh,
confusing.
sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Well, you said
basketball.
howdy, boys.
Oh, fuck! You just made so much confusion there, Mitch. Sorry. Yeah, basketball.
You confused his small brain. Give him a break.
I'm
Come
sorry.
It's
on.
not like
He's played 2K for 19 hours today. He's tired.
I actually didn't. Thank you very
10
much.
hours straight, no break.
Yes, basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble.
Oh.
Oh, idiot, aren't I? Yeah, so
All
basketball.
right,
Here we
someone
go.
fucking steal the ball off him and give it to Lockie. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear him talk.
No, so basketball.
Oh,
I filled in for my mate's team once in about year 9-ish, about 15. Did pretty shit in that game. Yeah. Played a few Beans games this year. Played in the Beans this year. Played just at school and stuff, like just at lunchtime, whatnot. That's pretty much only experiences playing basketball. Watching basketball sort of just since year 12 started. Not year 12, high school started. Just, that's really my experience with basketball. Yeah, who's next?
oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so that's probably my experience with basketball. All right, so who's up?
Mitch or Lockie?
Who hasn't been?
Mitch.
left?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
hear
me,
from
okay.
Mitch.
I sort of went over it last week a bit. Hi, I'm Mitch. We've been playing basketball since I was probably... I actually couldn't give you an age. It'd be 4 or 5-ish. Real young. Back in the day at Western Port and Bitten and stuff, which was good fun.
Oh, the bitten court.
The old Bitten dusty courts.
That's
Many
really
an
good. So
ankle
just
done
for
there.
context of the bitten court, you'd do a layup, and the brick wall was so close to the to the hoop, you'd always smash your elbow on it. You'd lay it up and then smash your elbow. It was
definitely not
ace.
ideal. Very
Oh,
retro. But yeah, so started there. Sort of played basketball pretty consistently ever since, just either in domestic or rep. Played for Western Port as well. I don't think Brad and I were ever in the same age group or anything. I think he was.
I
a
actually
couple of
remember
years
when I got to
ahead.
CBL, I trained you guys.
You reckon?
Yeah, no, I definitely did.
Yeah. So Brad, because how old are you, Brad?
Like 25.
25. Yeah, and I'm 20. So there's a bit of an age gap there. So I don't think we ever connected much aside from that coaching thing that Brad's talking about. Taught me everything I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just been playing basketball pretty consistently. Picked up footy recently, and then with the chance of the Beans coming back, that's made me sort of get back into the basketball, taking a bit more fun, playing with schoolmates and stuff as opposed to the seriousness of rep. But yeah, said I was a Boston fan last week. Going to say it again this week. Just repeat myself, just in case you didn't hear or didn't care. But yeah, living the dream, playing basketball, missing basketball. Glad it's back now. It's so good to watch it. Got the KO going, so just watching it heaps and stuff. But yeah, that's all. Who should I pass it on to? I'll pick. Is it just Lockie left?
Lockie's all that's left.
Who should I pick? Who should I pick? I think
No
Hoetzel.
one's really picking my fancy. I think I'll just hold on.
Yeah, I'll just keep the talking stick.
Wow. Well, Beans is my first foray into basketball. I have zero experience behind that. But my family has always been like super into basketball. Like my stepbrothers were super into it. One of them played quite a bit actually, and I'd go to see some of his games. But never really picked up on any of the rules until I started playing with the Beans and these boys. And it's been a cool ride so far.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah, Beans had a bit of a rough season this year.
It wasn't ideal.
We started in D grade, so we weren't even going to play the season. We were going to wait for the next season, but a team dropped out. So the Beans were launched into D grade straight away.
D's for deep end, by the way.
D's for defense. The first
Maybe deplorable.
The first night, it was pretty deplorable. D for deplorable for us at least. I missed the first few games. I couldn't couldn't run. Broke my rib right before the Beans debut.
The day
so
before,
no-
wasn't it?
soft, no commitment. It was the day before.
Yeah,
I'm
it
pretty
was
sure
the-
you guys.
yeah,
I
I
was
remember
playing
watching it.
Tuesday night, and I got a big screen set on me, and my rib went, and I wasn't allowed to play the Beans the next night. So, which was the debut of the Beans. I had
Definitely
to
not
score for
ideal.
everyone, and I think we lost 4 games straight.
We're
by
actually
a
did quite
hefty-
well.
We did pretty well. We kept up
Considering
with
how many-
teams.
Like how many new players like that we had. Like I think it was Brad and I were the only ones, as you guys have heard, because we've also got Brady and Callum and Moss in the team who will probably feature on the podcast, I'm sure. But yeah, so we also have those boys that play in it. But I think it's 5 out of 8 have played basketball before.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the boys are all freshies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't. How many? What was our record for the first season?
In E
I
grade,
think it was 9-1. In
Okay.
E grade, it was 0-4, and at D grade we were 0-4. We got kicked down to E grade, and then in E grade we found a little bit more success, lots of close games.
apparently we had a draw in E grade. I don't recall that happening though.
I think that was a bye.
Must have been a
They cancelled on
Yeah,
us.
okay.
Which should count as a win. Somehow the Beans lost a bye.
But anyway, yeah. So the Beans. Let's just talk about a singular win because no one wanted to hear about the rest of the games.
Last game?
Nah, it was because I didn't play the last couple of
Second
games
half
because of uni, I believe.
Yep.
The Beans taking on Vipers Venom. That's what it was. Oh,
That's all right.
let's just quick look at the score
What a
sheet.
day.
Mitch had a bit of a game that game actually. 11 points.
Yeah, back's
He's
still
a consistent
sore.
boy.
Piggy had 8 points as well. Callum, he was. I think that was the Butcher game, wasn't it?
That was.
The Butcher Piggy.
I'll never forget. Yeah, the kombucha pre-game kombucha.
Oh, that's right.
Heroic stuff. Just he just kept going coast to coast. I'll never forget
Yeah,
it.
and it just set him off.
Inspiring.
Sparring stuff.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Racked up probably 4 or 5 fouls that game. I did.
Yep.
Oh, you did.
Lockie,
Lockie-
I think
Lockie-
he legitimately led the league in fouls.
And we
Fouls
played
per
like
game.
4 less games than everybody else.
Magic that you didn't get fouled out more, Lockie. Serious magic.
I
That's
reckon
wizardry
the
right
refs
there.
gave us a
I'm
bit
always
of a.
on the border of fouling out.
The refs
Just
gave
have
us.
5,000 and then stop playing defense. Nah, you boys take.
Yeah, no, the refs
We
definitely
did
gave us a
have
bit of a
one.
concessions.
We had one report. Brad, do you want to
Oh
talk about that?
yeah, the tribunal.
That was That was actually the last game before we all got locked down because we
Tribunal.
missed our last game. Tribunal.
Look, he had
That's
18
right,
fouls
yeah.
in 8 games, by the way, just so you know. No field goals made. Few
No
missed
goals,
free
Oh,
throws.
18
Don't have
fouls.
to bring that up.
18 fouls. Bang.
Incredible.
Hey man,
That's all
I get
time.
into the defense.
Do
Gets
you?
into the defense. He sets a hard screen, Lockie, as well. You want
Yeah, I
him on
tipped
your
someone
team.
over with one of my screens.
Yeah, boom, trucked him. He's a Hall of Fame truck.
Big dude, big dude.
Yeah.
Tell
Big
us
dude,
the
like
story
plays.
of you getting almost sent to tribunal, Brad.
All right, so last game of the Beans, the last official game of the Beans seasons, we were having a decent game. It was a close one, if I recall. I think we were like 2 points down.
Yeah,
when this happened, there was about
give and
4
take.
minutes left. About 4 minutes left. One of the opposition team went into one of our guys and shoved his shoulder in. Like he didn't even look at the ring. He just shoved his shoulder in, and ended up getting 2 shots from it. I thought it was bullshit, and we'd been, shit talking all night with the other team. It was a good, fun, competitive
friendly,
game.
yeah.
There was nothing sinister about it all. But we went.
That's what
I
he'll
just thought
tell
that
you.
one was a bit odd. He's done it a few times, this bloke, and I was just like, hey, you can't reward him just charging him with his shoulder and shooting over his head. Like you're rewarding terrible offense. And her reply was, "Do you want a tech foul?" So I'm a smart ass. I'm gonna
We're going to do our best to get her in onto the podcast to get a reply to this.
Do
by
our
the way.
best. Oh, got to get
I
her
wonder
side
if
of the story.
I wonder if it's the same ref that once kicked my dad out of a basketball game, one of my brother's basketball games, for yelling at the coach and saying that he wasn't using the players well enough. I wonder if it's the same ref.
Probably.
Whoa.
Could be.
Probably.
Yeah, but yeah, and after she said, "Do you want a tech foul?" I replied like a very polite young man that I am, "Yes, please." She hit me up with a tech foul, and I wasn't allowed to play for the rest of the 4 minutes. I think we ended up losing by
8 points. I just checked.
it was 8 or 10 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8, yeah.
Yeah, tragic.
And then after the game, she was walking to the bench. She was staring at me in the face, and I said, "You can't give tech foul." Like I just sort of in defeat, I was just like, "You can't give tech fouls out for that." And I don't know what.
And it erupted.
And then it erupted. She started sort of scolding me, telling me how disrespectful I was being, and she should not have done this, but she asked the silly question, "Do you want me to show you the rule book about technical fouls?" And I replied, like a young gentleman that I am, "Yes, please." Yes, please. And she said, "Well, I can't do that now." Where I replied, "Can't do that now." Where I replied, now frustrated, "That was a stupid thing to ask, wasn't it?" And then she got up. She got up on her high horse. She's like, "So, you called me stupid?" And I was like, "No, that's not what I said." To the point where she'd already turned her back to me and said, "I'm reporting you to tribunal." I went to the office and sprayed right in front of the opposition team, by the way, and sprayed me out and said, "I'm going to the tribunal" and stuff. And the whole other team was completely on my side and was like, "Yeah, she can't do that. That's awful." She'd had a bad day and took it out on poor old Brad.
On the poor old beans.
Didn't get sent to the tribunal, so suck shit.
Yeah.
Now,
So I was just
should
looking at that one draw that we had quickly, and that was because of COVID. They cancelled the
Yep.
game. That was the one draw we had.
That was the COVID game.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Now I'm thinking, should we get into some actual like some NBA talk first, and then do our all-time starting fives later on,
Yeah, let's
I was
do
just-
it.
That's a good
just
idea.
to mix it up
Yeah.
a little bit, keep them hungry, hang around listening.
hungry.
We're going to talk about our all-time starting fives later on, but I think it's
Don't
time
worry.
for some NBA talk.
Oh, let's do order of the games. We've only got 8 games, so we may as well touch on them all. What do you reckon?
Yeah, quick little one
Yes, sir.
Excited.
here and there, because we'll probably talk for longer on some and shorter on others.
All right.
So
Yeah,
which
hit
one
me up
was-
when we hit the
which one did
Dallas
we have
Mavericks.
first?
We had Pelicans and
Pelicans.
Utah Jazz first,
Yeah.
104 New Orleans and 160 Utah Jazz, who took out the win. It was a very hard fought
Surprising.
game, this one.
That was
Surprising?
that was really surprising. Sort of
I
last minute.
tipped Jazz, and I reckon this is going to be one of the harder games on New Orleans' schedule. I think they're going to
Breeze through from here.
look. Zion didn't play much, and he's not going to
Yeah,
play.
what minutes was he on?
Yeah,
He's
16.
15, yep.
Yeah.
15, he's got 13 points. He had 0 rebounds, so he wasn't as physical as he'd been before the lockdown, which is fine. It's their first game back.
It's his first
But
game as well. He didn't play
he's-
any scrimmages too.
Was
yeah,
that
I'd say
why
he's
they had him on minute restrictions, just because he hadn't played much?
Yeah, because I think he had some sort of personal leave, so he didn't play in the scrimmages.
you'd hate him. You'd hate him to tear an ACL or something in a place where they're realistically not a shot this year for a championship,
Yeah.
so probably not too big of a rush. But as the second best player of the team, I think and he just wasn't playing physical at all, which is
Yeah.
fine, because as the second best player of the team, it is very comforting to know, if you're New Orleans Pelicans, that the rest of your team stepped up. So Drew Holiday
Yeah, played
was
very well.
brilliant. He was very
Even
all-round.
JJ Redick.
JJ Redick was
Yeah,
all times,
JJ
21
Redick.
points.
Amazing
Josh
play by
Hart,
him.
Josh Hart, man, his plus minus was through the roof in the end.
He's just one of those glue guys, isn't he?
He's going to be really good. He probably should start on most teams, but he doesn't need to here.
Yeah.
But we like that as well. And even you're getting quality minutes from each one more, which is
Yeah.
that's ace too. The whole list touch the ball, which is really cool.
Yeah, and Zion putting up, no, not Zion, sorry, Lonzo putting up pretty good numbers. Like, he didn't score the ball like we'd like to see, but 6 and 7 rebounds and assists. Tell you what, that guy's
that
a sneaky
fucking-
triple-double threat every game.
He really is.
Absolutely.
Just with
And
his
that
That
length.
feed from Zion to Lonzo was so good to
half
watch
court.
unfold.
Lonzo
Yeah.
just
Yeah, if you're going to
loved
have
it.
one
Wasn't
assist
it?
in a game, it's going to be a nice behind the back to Lonzo
Very
Ball. That was a
nice.
really good one.
Yeah, nah.
And as far as Jazz went, that was like almost a perfect game for them. Everyone stepped up. They don't have Bogdanovic for this which is a huge part. He was their clutch player.
I was pleasantly surprised by Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert, as Mitch liked to say, he stopped the NBA and he brought him back. He brought it back with the first bucket of the NBA bubble,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
And the last
but
points
you just
of the
you just
last points of the
Yep.
game with a free throw to win the game.
yep.
I thought he played
No,
pretty
good
well.
on him.
12 boards. It's what you want from your centre.
But I was surprised that, like, obviously he's always in D-boy talks and stuff like that. But he was moving so well off the ball.
Yeah.
That's what I was really, like, pleased to watch with.
And you look at the Jazz as a whole, and you look how they almost played a perfect game as far as spreading the ball around to getting everyone touches. Everyone had a fair good. I think it was 6 guys that had double-digit points, and that's hard to do with an NBA team. But I think the only thing I can pick on for Jazz is when Jordan Clarkson was on the floor, their defense just looked broken.
Jordan Clarkson needs a haircut.
He does need a haircut.
Oh,
He did.
It's crazy.
He did
though,
make
like
up
his,
for that though.
his
That
plus minus was like so far down, but he had 23,
15.
3 and 5.
He had 23, 3 and 5. Just very, very
I didn't realize he had that
easily
many
lost.
points.
he
But
won
when I was
from 8
watching
from
him,
3.
he's just
He
over
was the leading scorer in
dribbling.
the end.
He was
1
just
from
over
8 from
dribbling.
3-pointer. That's what his problems were. Missing from the 3-ball.
Yeah.
Take away his 3-pointers, and
Three-ball.
he's only taken 11 shots, and he's made 7 of them.
I just thought he was just overdoing it when the ball was in his hands, I thought.
Absolutely. Too many mistakes. And we've got to remember too, he's new on the team.
Yeah.
As of
And still relatively young as well.
still relatively young. Just needs to be a bit more active on defense. Stick with your man. Don't confuse. Talk a little bit more. It didn't look like he was talking heaps, but
Yeah.
that's my only thing to pick on Jazz with at all.
Yeah, I thought
was
that
when
they
he was on
played
the
really
floor. And that just is credit to the rest of how good like the team played as defensively. When he made a mistake, usually they made up for it.
Yeah.
But majority of the time they didn't.
I don't
Donovan
think anyone...
Mitchell, menace.
Oh, yeah.
He's a menace.
Dude, yeah, incredible. I don't think anyone's mentioned your boy yet, Lockie. Big Brandon Ingram.
Oh, bro, he played so well.
Dude, he's just developing every game, isn't he?
Yeah, you could tell, like, when he's on the floor, they kind of, like, I wouldn't say depend, but he kind of leads the offense for the Pelicans. when
Definitely
he's on the
does.
floor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He only shot
I think
35%
Zion
though, but
Williamson
he's
is
still...
the best thing for him.
Yeah, he shot
What was that,
35%,
Brad?
but he was real danger even when he wasn't hitting the shots. He looked trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah, I think what
And
I
he's
was
only
going
going
to
to get better, which is terrifying.
He's terrible. He's very, very young, and having him with Zion Williamson is just going to open up. Like, there's going to be so much attention on Zion. He's that
There's so
little-
much space on that
There's
whole
so
team.
much space, and it just gives like even when the 15 minutes where Zion was on and Brandon was on at the same time,
Yeah.
Brandon was his ISO like life.
Dude.
He was sitting by himself. No one could commit to help because Zion was going to get it, or even Derek Favors was going to get it a lot of the time if Ingram wanted to attack the bucket or
Yeah.
just play with the defender for a little bit. But yeah, I liked that game a lot. What a good one to start off.
I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I did see Ingram with 0 assists there. Was that just he just wasn't sharing the ball, or the people who was giving the ball to just weren't shooting all that much?
I think it's generally like across all of these games, there's pretty low assist numbers compared to what there was before the lockdown. I think that's just they haven't had the repetition of the plays, therefore they tend to go a little bit more ISO-y, or fast break. So you can see
Just
like
go back to
Lonzo's-
instincts and stuff.
go back to instincts and Lonzo
Bit of
had
rust.
Lonzo had 7 assists, and that's kind of as high as it gets in this game. It is the highest it gets in this game.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I think that's the main contributor because he wasn't not moving the ball. I thought he was actually moving it around really.
Yeah, it seemed flowing. Like it was flowing pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Next game, Clippers-Lakers.
Big one.
The big one that everyone was waiting for.
Yeah,
Huge
Lakers
game.
103 taking on the Clippers 101. Don't mind that.
Don't mind that. I picked the Lakers for the first one.
I actually picked the Clippers.
Close
as
game
well.
as expected.
What was that, sorry?
It was a close game as expected, I think.
Oh,
by
yeah.
everyone.
Paul George shot
Anthony Davis is
64%.
looking
65%.
Yeah.
That's put big numbers. 34, 8 and 4 from AD.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just massive, isn't he?
LeBron with the almost triple-double.
Yeah, led the team in rebounds.
Didn't shoot well, but he.
Yeah.
And
You'll get there. I think a lot of the teams
He
are just
didn't
not
shoot
shooting well the
great.
first couple of games.
It's just getting back into it, I think. I think it's just... Yeah,
is
let's just say
that the
for us.
first time, and this is a question for everyone, is that the first time we've seen LeBron James look old? Like play
I
Oh.
old?
don't think he
you
looked
know
all
what I
that
mean?
old, if I'm being... I just...
He
Dude,
didn't, like he looked fit, he just
no,
didn't.
he was still doing his... Just
He's
every
still
now and again,
doing
he'd get
his
that
thing.
mismatch and just drop his head and go through him.
Drop his head.
I still don't
It
think he's
felt
aging
like-
that much yet.
He's not.
It felt
aging
like
that
he
much.
wasn't playing much, but he played 34 minutes. Like he was on for a lot of it, but it felt like he wasn't playing much. But I don't know.
Clippers were doubling.
I'm not gonna say
I
necessarily
don't know
looked like
where
he was
I
playing
saw it.
old.
I don't know where I saw it, but I saw this thing that said that LeBron James was playing like chess with the Clippers defense with how he was doing it. It was like
Yeah.
very methodical when he scored.
And something I
Yeah,
liked
I get
by
that.
from him was that in the like those last second shots, he was on Kawhi and Paul George. Like he was on those big plays. He didn't back down like he
Yeah.
has sometimes.
And his game-winning shot is like where I was like, where he kind of looks old. The little jump that he does for that, it just looks like
Just
he's
an old
worn down.
man
Just-
little
Do
floater.
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Old.
Like I'm not saying like he's deteriorating skill or anything, but I think
No, I get that. On
Mine
that
yeah,
game,
got
you
just
know.
that
doesn't
one
look-
down.
like I reckon
It
that's
was,
almost
like-
a flush in other games.
3
Do you know
years
what I
ago,
mean?
yeah, 3 years ago, LeBron's throwing that down.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the Lakers is another one that went pretty deep. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people in double digits. Not the greatest, but Dion Waiters is showing out really well already.
Yeah.
Like that's a very big dark horse pickup right there. That's a very clever mood. And J.R. Smith, if Dion Waiters is having a rough night, J.R. Smith is presumably going to come back on. He played woefully when he was on though,
Yeah, I was
on
going to say
defense and offense.
nothing.
I just,
Oh.
Someone had. Was it Lockie that had Kyle Kuzma as their player to watch last week?
yeah, it was.
Was that you,
Yeah.
Lockie?
He had a decent
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
16 and 7.
Yeah, showed
He
played
out.
started
really
out a
well.
bit like hungry, like he was taking some contested shots, but then
Yeah.
throughout the game, he kind of freed up his game. You know, he got a lot of like boards.
the-
He stuck to the boards and the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
said
I
that,
found when the better Anthony Davis got, I felt Kyle Kuzma rose as well.
Yeah,
Anthony Davis rose, like brought all that attention to him, and he could kick
And
it
yeah, 'cause
around.
he's
for a
got
quick
that bit of
switch.
Every
range as
time
well.
AD started posting
Yeah,
up,
absolutely.
every time AD started posting up, was backing down in the post, Clippers would double. Every time. That was leaving Kuzma open. That was leaving Danny Green open. And I think Danny Green, he hit a couple of threes. Kuzma hit 4 threes.
Yeah.
All of Kuzma's field goals are
Um,
threes. And that's
And
That's scary.
Clippers were just kind of weird with how they were playing defense. I felt like that was the
I was
worst
quite
possible.
disappointed in that, yeah.
That was the worst possible. Like the offense wasn't that great either.
I
But
think that's his
their
first game
defense,
back,
which is
really.
usually on point, first game back. Let's hopefully put it down to that. I picked
Oh,
Lakers,
yeah.
luckily, but
I definitely think when it comes down to the championship time, like finals time, I definitely think we'll be seeing the different Clippers.
Yeah,
and the
Kawhi
different
Lakers
kind
were
of
good as well.
obviously-
Lakers didn't shoot great either.
Yeah.
and they went deep into their pretty weak bench. Like they don't have the best bench anymore with Rondo and
Yeah.
Avery Bradley out.
Yeah.
Dwight didn't play that
He-
much. I think
He was in a lot of foul
saving
trouble.
it.
He had 5 fouls.
A lot of foul
He had
trouble.
5 fouls in his 12 minutes,
early.
which was bad.
There you go. I do forget.
There was a
that.
lot of fouls that game as well. A lot
it was
of
very
fouls.
foul heavy game.
Yeah, I felt AD, especially the first quarter, just every little nick and touch, he just sort of got free throws a lot.
Maybe the rest were just trying to set a standard early
AD.
on in the bubble to say we're not going to let you
Oh
get
yeah,
away with
he
this
shot so many free throws.
Yeah,
That was one thing. No, a lot of them were quite
16
soft,
free
though.
throws. Fuck me. He had
Yeah,
16 from 17.
and they were like, I don't like to complain about refs and things like that, but a lot of them were very soft calls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think, but he was looking big. I couldn't believe how big he was just across his shoulders and everything.
He's a
He was
big
looking
boy.
so fit.
Like
yeah.
he's
Kinda
naturally big,
swole.
but when he's obviously
When he's working, yeah.
working, it looks like
Scary.
a big boy. One thing that always confuses me about the Clippers, I don't know if you boys feel the same, but how Zubac gets so much fucking court time. He had 15 minutes. It was 15 minutes too much, in my opinion. It's
I don't
nuts.
mind Zubac.
I do. He's woeful. He can't really. He's a bad matchup for anyone. He's too slow to guard AD.
Yeah.
And he's still not tall enough to guard AD. He's a 7 foot. He's
I
legitimate.
think
7 foot.
Joakim
He
did
still
all
can't.
right.
Joakim
I know he
did-
only had the 1 point, but
and he only had. He doesn't need to be there to score. He can
Yeah.
clean up. He can get some scraps.
had the block and just,
Joakim Noah, I think, should probably. And I wouldn't be surprised by the time playoff hits. It'll be
he's starting.
Joakim. If he's not starting, maybe getting closer to 25 points a game. Or
Someone
25 minutes a game, not points. He's not going to score.
Someone who played really well, I thought, was Jermichael Green.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
really surprised me.
and he didn't need to score because he was moving
Yeah.
a lot on offense and then being a pest on defense, which is good.
Yeah.
Do you want to move
to the
on?
next game?
Yeah, I think one thing I want to bring up about the Clippers too, it frustrated me that they didn't play Paul George on Anthony Davis, which they definitely could have.
It just doesn't seem
think
like they're
they're
interested in
enough,
it. They
man.
want to.
I think he's big enough, and I swear they are saving that for the playoffs. If they match up, I think that's what's going to happen because Paul George is such an elite defender, and
Oh, dude, yeah.
he's quick enough to keep him off on the feet, and he's strong enough to at least keep AD in one spot until help comes. Where I don't think.
I think
Zubac
it should be
or anyone
either
else is.
Kawhi or Paul George.
Yeah, I think Kawhi needs to stay on LeBron, but
But what I'm saying is whoever guards AD, the other will probably swap to LeBron. If one of them is,
and I really think that's what they need to do and get Zubac out. Like I think he's just a detriment when he's on the floor.
Yeah, because
not
that good a scorer, is he?
No. He's got some nice nifty moves. Like when he's actually on the floor, he can do some good things offensively, but defensively, I just don't like him as a player. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that one.
Sweet, on to the next game. Orlando and Brooklyn. I think, should we mention before, talk about the little bit of news that came with this game?
Yeah, do it.
With Jonathan Isaac not sitting for their national anthem like everyone was and not wearing the Black Lives Matter shirt, caused a bit of a fuss in the NBA community.
Now, why did he do this? I didn't quite understand it. I didn't read too
something
much
about
into it.
Jesus and
So I
God.
wanted
Big
to
thing
explain
for him, it was his faith. Yeah, he said that it wasn't the way that he believed he should have gone about it because he's heavily religious. He thinks that the way that he can go about it is through his belief system and things like that, as opposed to that sort of method. Which
I mean, you do you. It's fine. I guess.
Mitch, you commented on the reporter that asked him about it and how
what
fucking
an
stupid
idiot. Yeah.
that was.
There was an idiot after the game that was talking. Oh, I think it might have been pre-game after they knelt. Either way, whenever it was, one of the first questions that this chick asked him was, "Do you think Black Lives Matter?" Because he wasn't wearing the Black Lives Matter shirt. Oh,
Firstly, asking anyone that is stupid. But secondly, asking a black guy,
Yeah, young
do you
black
think
man.
Do you
Black
matter?
Lives
Black
Matter?
Lives Matter.
Yes.
Just get fucked. Like,
yeah.
I've got what he said. So he said, I believe that Black Lives Matter. A lot went into my decision, and part of it is that kneeling or wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt didn't go hand in hand with supporting Black lives. So I felt like just me personally and what I believe in, I do believe Black Lives Matter, but it was just a decision that I needed to make. I didn't feel like putting a shirt on and kneeling went hand in hand with supporting Black lives. For myself, my life has been supported through the gospel, Jesus Christ, and everyone is made in the image of God. So yeah, basically it was what Mitch said about it being a religious decision, basically.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot else to say about the game itself.
I
I
actually
didn't see the game.
was surprised how much I enjoyed watching the Magic.
Yeah.
Magic are good. Nets
I
are
think
throwing this season.
I like the Magic. Even with Aaron Gordon, he's just a showy star.
Yeah.
I've always rated Vucevic highly. Vucevic.
Yeah, me too. He
he's
played
very
really
good.
well too.
I think he's quite an underrated center in the league. Obviously, I don't think he's
Absolutely.
top tier. But
Top tier.
I think
he's going to be a really good third man on a championship team one day. I reckon he's going to be sorted out after
that third star.
that.
Hopefully, he
Third, or
stays
even
with the
second,
Magic.
even second star. Yeah, he could stay
Yeah.
at Magic.
But I think he
Evan
needs someone
Fournier
else.
with 24 points.
Yeah. And then Jonathan Isaac bowling in the name of God.
Yeah,
16 and 6.
he had a pretty good one. I think the only thing I was disappointed when I was watching this game was that I would have liked to see a bit of Markel Fultz. I thought thought he played really good when he was on, and just didn't get. And he moves the ball, and he just has
We
a
just
really
want
good
Mo
head.
Bamba.
We just want Mo Bamba. He
Magic,
didn't really-
give
he
us
only
Mo
played a
Bamba.
second. Yeah,
Listen,
Yeah.
Magic. Listen here.
yeah.
And-
Nets are throwing the season away.
You guys
Yeah,
know,
that's
I've talked to you guys about this. I haven't talked about it on the Beans yet, but I rate very highly Karis LeVert. I reckon he's a great player.
Yeah.
And he played pretty well here
Yeah.
too.
I reckon he could be a good 6 man on
17
the
to 7.
championship
With
team.
7 assists. I didn't know he had
Jet.
7 assists. Jesus. So what's going on with Brooklyn? Who's
I know
everyone?
that
Why
they had
aren't
like
players
this
there?
text
They're throwing.
thread before like the bubble, and they were all like, "Oh, we'll just start our own league until lockout's out." And it was about all Brooklyn, and then once they announced it, and it was sort of like a bubble thing for them too.
Yeah.
And once this was announced, it was just really weird. All the Brooklyn people dropped out.
Strange, hey.
It was really weird. I actually don't know. I don't.
Was
know
Kevin
the
Durant going to be
story.
back?
Nah, he said he wasn't going to.
Nah.
He wasn't going to risk
Not
it,
this season.
which is fair enough considering what happened last year when he did risk it.
Yeah.
He almost risked
Yeah,
a
definitely.
big pay packet, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got very fortunate to still get that max, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
he's worth the max.
oh,
He's one of
yeah.
the top 10 players of all time.
Oh, yeah, but it's big injury.
Yeah.
Big injury. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't doubt that he's well worth that pay packet, but when you do an ACL like that, not ACL, sorry, Achilles.
Yeah, you put question marks over it, and you've got to be a ballsy GM to make that call to give KD a max contract after he's just done his ACL. So, not ACL, Achilles so badly.
Achilles.
Achilles.
You've done me in, Mitch,
Yeah.
there. You've done me in.
And it was a bad injury as well. But yeah, I can't wait. He's one that I can't wait to see next year, coming in and doing his thing.
Absolutely. And you know what? All of his athleticism probably got to be gone, but he's still got one of the best jump shots I've ever seen, and
Oh,
the
dude.
handle to go
Especially
with it.
being 7 foot really helps, doesn't it?
It'd be interesting to see how he goes on defense, but I don't think he's gonna digress as much.
I don't think he definitely won't have lost any of his strength purely because he's that's what he'll be working on. So
Yeah, might even gain a bit more
yeah, I
muscle.
think he'll be really good to watch.
Next
On to
game,
the
there's
next
not
one.
much to that one.
Yeah, Memphis, Portland.
Vucevic played good, and Timothy, can't pronounce your last name, mate, but you really played good.
Timothy.
You're going to be...
Tim,
I'm not even going to
buddy,
try.
you
I look
played
like an
well.
idiot. Played well.
Who?
Timothy, you good.
Tim?
Yeah, what's his name? Just Tim.
Tim.
Just
His
Timothy.
name's Timothy Lawawu. That's all I'm trying.
Zero idea who you're talking about.
What game are we talking
Are
about
you
right
talking
now?
about the Memphis game?
Oh my god.
Are you talking about
Yeah,
the Memphis
what the
game?
hell?
This is
I was
a,
at the wrong date.
There's
Brad's
no
still-
one called Timothy.
No, Brad's still on the fucking Nets game.
No, that's all right. Just ignore this one.
Okay,
I've
cool.
done the wrong game.
Yeah,
Brad's still on the
So,
Nets game. Timothy
yeah,
Lawalu
Memphis-
Cabaret.
Memphis took it to Portland. I mean, obviously Portland
Yeah.
won, but I think with
It
a
was a
young
high
squad
score
like that,
game.
yeah.
I just want to let everyone know, I did mention Jusuf Nurkic as someone to watch. Man got 18, 9, and 5, as well as having 6 blocks.
Dude,
It was a
yeah,
threat.
and he was good to watch
Did
as well.
foul out, but still,
Looking pretty athletic.
that's numbers. Those are digits.
CJ had CJ,
Yeah,
had a
CJ
game. Dame had a
McCollum,
Dame
man.
game. Dude,
Best backcourt in the NBA right now.
So scary.
The best backcourt. They're a legitimate threat to get rid of Grizzlies and Pelicans. To get
Yeah,
their
Yeah,
next
so they
spot.
just need to get. They just need to
Mallow
finish.
got a
there.
lot more
Mallow,
work to
Mallow
do.
did Mallow things efficiently.
Mallow scored. What did he score?
21.
Points,
7
21
boards.
points, and was clutch.
Portland
Did he?
is
I didn't end up seeing the
7-1
whole
when
game.
Malloy's
Did
over
he end
20
up coming in
points.
clutch? Did he?
He was very good, very
Let me look at the
efficient when you
table.
needed him to be efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, A plus for Mello there.
Oh yeah, free throws.
Not as hungry looking for his shots too, which is a big thing for such a prolific scorer.
And
Like
a
of
hungry scorer.
Of his caliber.
7
He's
from
a hungry
10
boy.
shooting.
He's really good.
One that I said to watch, like, because I was looking at that Ja Morant, Zion battle. Ja Morant played really well, looking just as explosive as ever. Wasn't super efficient with his shots though.
No, he should not be allowed to shoot threes.
Yeah, it's a bit gross.
No, he really shouldn't. He was really bad. I think he shot 1 from 6.
1
He
from
shot
7.
Wow.
Yeah,
He
14%.
was awful. He should not be allowed to shoot him. Although he had
He
one of the
can
only
hit. No,
players
he
on
can
his-
hit threes. He seriously can.
He's not good enough to be putting up 8 a game.
Do you reckon
Oh,
he should just be a
serious.
slasher, Brad?
Slasher mid range. Just
Oh, he's a mid-range.
work on your
player,
shot
right?
privately. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe
Like,
just a catch and shoot guy at the
don't-
moment.
1 from 7.
Like if
Well,
you're
that's right.
if you're getting like that many catch and shoot opportunities, maybe take him in a game. But I didn't
Yeah.
watch the game, but I'm assuming Ja Morant probably took a fair few off the dribble because that's the kind of player he is.
Yeah,
That's how he plays, yeah.
70% of them are off the dribble.
But you don't mind a rookie coming in giving you 22, 5, and 11.
Yeah, if he keeps up those
Yeah.
numbers,
Definitely don't mind
if he
that.
keeps up those numbers, he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Doesn't matter what Zion does, unless Zion goes 50 and
Yeah.
10. But like that's not happening.
Yep. And he didn't turn it over to an alarming point either, which he has done before.
And
One
rookie
thing
guards
I'd
do that a
like-
lot as well. That's just
Rookie guys just do that. Yeah.
he
Sweet.
played 40 minutes as well,
absolutely.
big minutes.
They
Yeah.
have some awful, like, it's going to be really hard to see them do any better with their, apart from Jackson Jr., Valanciunas just isn't great anymore.
I like Brendan Clark.
Tolliver coming off the bench isn't any better.
Yeah.
They're going to need a bigger big man presence, I think, to do anything serious in the future.
Yeah,
That was my
Jane
one
Jackson's not
observation.
big enough to be a big man. Like
Yeah,
a
and,
big.
And they let Nurkic have a game.
Yeah.
He looked beautiful. He was so good.
Yeah.
What
Sweet.
did he
Next
get?
game. Oh,
Yeah, let's
18,
do it.
9 and 5.
6 blocks for
6
Nurkic.
blocks,
I think
yeah.
Just 'cause I'm
that's
thinking
one to watch.
we still
That
gotta-
was someone's play to
That's
watch.
mine. Yeah,
yeah, it's
Um,
Herzl's.
Herzl's. Yeah, he has 6 blocks, which is
huge.
killing it. I'll let you talk about it if you want to.
I did mention earlier, but yeah, I didn't expect him
Yeah, I was
to.
going to say, he did already speak about it.
Didn't expect him to get 6 blocks. But still,
Okay.
digits.
No, I don't think anyone did it.
That's good. That's pure skill, like defensive skill, that one.
Yeah. No. We're doing Phoenix, Washington next.
Let's do Phoenix, Washington.
That was a.
Is this where you're talking about your mate, Brad? Or not yet?
My mate.
Timothy?
Nah, he was in the Nets game. He was in the.
He was on the Nets game. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't know what Brad's on about. We moved on. Brad was back in 2005. I don't know what Brad's doing.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm with you now. Phoenix taking out the Wizards. Two teams that I don't know. Is anyone really thinking that they're going to be in contention?
I think Wizards are going
no,
0
I
8, to be
watched
honest.
the game. So.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it. Did anyone watch it?
Nah.
I caught a bit of it, and we're going to talk about this later, by the way, rookies that are getting overlooked. Rui Hachimura had quite a game.
dude.
He played very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I love Rui. I
He's just
thought
unfortunate he's playing for the Washington Wizards. That's his
Yeah,
only
ne-
downfall. He's
needs
playing
to-
for the Wizards.
get out of there.
Another bright spot for that. I really like this guy. He didn't play
Future
heaps.
Bong.
He hasn't scored 9 points. But Cameron Payne, he used to play for Oklahoma City. He's
Yeah.
a weird looking guy. Looks like the little kid from Holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he does. I swear.
Yeah.
I swear on my life.
He's definitely got that look
I
about
swear on
him.
my life. But he's plus minus. When he was on the court, he was like getting
21
boards. He got a
plus
few
minus.
assists, got some steals, got a block.
Holy
He
shit.
was awesome, and nine points to go with it. One of them was a 3.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't get more minutes on any team that he plays for. He should be up like 25, 26 points. I love him a lot. And Devin Booker, obviously.
But you reckon
really-
he's sneaky six-man
really well.
talks?
Nah, not
in the future. No, not this year. Not this year.
Future for sure. I reckon if
Yeah.
he finds the right team that gives him an opportunity, he's a killer. Like, he's good. I rate him really highly. That's the only thing I've got to say about Phoenix and Washington. Game.
Yeah, I was
That
going
was
to say
a
Devin Booker,
shocker as well.
DeAndre, and both sort of expected to have good games. Both had pretty good games.
Bradley
It was
Beal
a bit,
just
a
does
bit
what
of an
Bradley Beal
ugly
does.
game, though.
It was an ugly game. That's a good way to describe it.
Nothing.
Nothing. Wow.
Sweet.
On to the next one.
Ooh,
This was one that we were all looking forward to, I think.
Yep. And probably my favourite game coming back, I think, too, this one.
Yeah.
I liked this one.
I think this just highlights how much of a threat the Celtics are. That their best player shot 2 from 18, and they only just lost to the best team in the East.
Oh, dude, there's so much depth.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown was electric. Like magic.
He's underrated. He has the same vibes Kobe Bryant used to have when he played with Shaq. It's like, oh, this guy could be really special if the sea opens up for him. He has that kind of vibe, which is he's just going to explode next year.
And your man
I think
Marcus
next
Smart,
year.
Brad.
Oh,
He
what a game.
He
Dude.
played a fucking killer. So he was a pest on defense that whole game. Did not stop. He was getting every 50-50 ball, and he scored. I never expect him to score more than 15 points. He scored really well, and I'm so happy. Made the Beans look really smart last week.
Yeah, legit.
Gladys looked Marcus Smart. Oh.
I think Jason Tatum was a bit disappointed. I didn't actually get to see the whole game, which is a bit poor form by me being a Boston fan. But what happened with JT? Just
It didn't drop. He had good
They were
looks.
all in the
over
paint.
and over.
Almost all of his shots were in the paint. Just couldn't hit them. Someone
You
like
think
that.
another
And then when he did
6'10"
step it
bloke with
outside,
big-ass
I think
arms.
he's in his own head. Would you say that Hoetzel? He was in his head by the time he was shooting threes.
Yeah, he didn't really look comfortable shooting at all.
Yeah.
But
Especially
he was
when
good
you're
enough on
shooting
defense.
that many. But good sign that he kept shooting.
Yeah.
Not many players will shoot 11%, but still shoot 18 shots.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And his plus minus wasn't woeful. They could have played Enes Kanter a bit more. That was
I like Enes Kanter. Very
Enes
underrated.
Kanter.
But I think the big thing with that was because Tice is a bit better with range.
Yeah, he was.
Tice
was low key.
Forced Brook
real
Lopez
good.
to come out with him. What was that, Herzl?
I thought Tice was really good. I liked him on the court.
Yeah, Tice is good because he spreads the floor, and especially with a big man like Brook Lopez who can just sit in there and block shots. How many blocks did he have? It'd be a few. Six. Yeah.
Fuck,
Like,
got in the way.
Yeah, so
A few.
if Tice is
6.
knocking down shots, that just draws him out and does it, which is good. Good on him shooting 2 from 6. But yeah, I think that just shows the depth of the Boston roster.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez got 6 blocks too. I don't remember that.
That's what we were saying. Yeah,
That was Brook Lopez. I think it was a bit Thice.
You know, I don't remember Brook Lopez getting 6 blocks, but I remember getting only 1.
I don't remember that.
But
no, I saw a few.
Giannis had a game
I saw
as
some
well.
of the first half.
Giannis had double-double at halftime. Giannis did
is
Giannis
a
things.
freak. I didn't realise how unstoppable that man was. Like, I'd seen a lot of highlights and I hadn't watched a heap of his games. But watching today, that's insane how he can do that.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like, he just can't be stopped.
He's long, and because he gets so much momentum off a rebound to go to the other court, that's where he's most dangerous. And you can tell just by stats, like kind of say there are 15 boards, 14 of them being defensive because he doesn't miss the first one. Like, he'll get it, he'll run, and he'll make the most of it. And if he's gonna be a contested shot, he's so good at making the dish if he needs to as well.
Giannis
What
also
did you
scored
think
the
of
first
the game
points
today, Chin?
for the Celtics. Chinnick?
The Bucks Celtics game.
Yeah, because I know that you watched it, didn't you? Or most of it.
I got the second half of it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching it. I think it was, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to actually say about the game, but it was definitely enjoyable to watch. Obviously Giannis, because I haven't really, haven't
Insane.
watched many episodes. Good one.
Episodes.
I just read episodes.
Dude, I hope
on
there's a
the
season
screen.
2.
Shut the fuck up. I read episode on my laptop screen and then just...
Dude, I hear
Shut up.
Channing Tatum's going to be in the next one.
That's it. I'm eating on my anyway, obviously I haven't seen many matches, so I haven't really seen a lot of Giannis like in action. But
Dude.
yeah, he is obviously like a fucking gun. What did he? So he ended up scoring 36 points
36,
and
yeah.
shot 14 of 20, which is pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, he played like crazy. But the Celtics, yeah, they were pretty well matched to them as well. I found like it was pretty close the whole time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this. I've got a lot more to say about the Mavs game, but
Chin
Yeah.
butt.
not necessarily on this one. But again, shut up. We're not talking about chin butt. Yeah, I definitely liked it a lot, and especially considering, similarly with the Lakers Clippers game, because with our predictions last episode, a lot of us pretty much were certain that it's going to be Lakers Clippers on one end and Bucks Celtics on the other.
Yeah.
So it was nice, like sort of seeing those matchups now.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Just to see, like, yeah, exactly, like day 1 and 2, seeing what that looks like, and then I guess it'll be interesting to see how that changes if it does turn out that way.
Throughout
It
the
might
course,
not,
yeah.
but if it does, which it's looking likely, then yeah, it'll be interesting to watch that unfold again and see like how the Celtics approach it differently, and I guess the Bucks as well. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
really interesting to watch this game. I liked it a lot.
I think just doubling down on what Connor said, this is scary that was not a good performance by their best player for the Celtics.
Yeah, that just shows
Yeah.
how dangerous they are going to be.
Yeah.
It,
That's
yeah,
like I was going to ask you boys. Question for the Beans: if JT was on this game, do you reckon the Bucks would have fallen to the Celtics?
Yeah,
Yes,
easy.
yes. 100%.
Yes, without
Yeah.
a doubt. He hits half of those shots and they're beating him.
Like 5 points, I think he averages what? He was averaging 30 by the end in these last month.
He's
Last month he was averaging over 30.
23, 7 and 3.
23.
Those are
Yeah,
digits.
these last month, like he was hot.
Yeah, I don't
30
know.
points a game. And then 5 points. So you could probably add another 20 points to the score for the Boston Celtics theoretically,
Yeah,
and it might have been a bit more
it would have been
comfortable
way
for the
different.
Celtics.
It would have changed our defense dynamic. I think my last closing remarks is first one is it's so good to see Kyle Korver still like just he's still got it.
I have to tell you, I laughed when he was out on the call. I was like, why is Ashton Kutcher, 40-year-old, going around shooting threes every now and
Ashton
then?
Kutcher and Channing Tatum matching up. I can't believe it.
Love that.
And then my last thing is Ersan Ilyasova has the worst head in the NBA and needs to get dropped.
The worst hand.
Worst hit.
Next game.
Another thing with this game quickly is that loss has put Boston down. Like they're now down from Toronto by 3.5 games in the standings.
Oh,
So in
jeez.
these next 7 games, they really have to
Turn it on a bit.
climb back up to reach that number 2 spot in the seed. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, next game. What was next?
Kings and Spurs it should be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone get to watch this game?
I got to watch the last half.
What time was it on?
Most of the last half? Oh, I don't know.
I didn't
it
get a
early?
chance to see it. I just saw De'Aaron Fox's stat line. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, 39.
He's good.
Decent numbers.
39.
Put up 33
36.
shots.
Nuts.
Yeah. He's so fast paced, man.
Dude,
He's so quick.
He's
It's
the
insane
quickest
to watch
guard
him.
in the league, isn't he? Or one
Yeah.
of.
Well, I think DeJounte Murray is too. I reckon he's one of the faster ones too. So those two were just back and forth. It hurt my head.
Dude.
DeMar DeRozan started at
tennis.
power forward.
Watching tennis.
No,
One-
I
one of
really
the
like
biggest-
De'Aaron Fox. He's one of my favourite young guns in the league at the moment.
One of the weird things that I found in this game is Buddy Hield didn't start. I thought that was
Yeah.
really strange. Bogdanovic is. I would probably prefer to like have him on my team than Hield, but
Yeah.
for now, Hield is better.
Buddy Hield shot 2 from 13.
2 from
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because he didn't get to start.
Probably
No,
why he
I,
didn't
I,
start.
I don't know. I just thought that was
8 from
weird.
15. Yeah, that I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was confused when I saw him.
I
Like
really
there, but
like
not
that.
starting.
Then Nemanja Bjelica. I think he's quite quality
Oh,
because
yeah,
he's pretty
yeah.
young, isn't he? I don't know. I think
Yeah.
he's just a good like he's the sort of bloke that you'd want to have on your team. He'll come out there and consistently sort of give you what you need. He won't do more, won't do less, you know.
Absolutely. And I've already said this to Mitch today, but DeMar DeRozan looked like a little reincarnation of T-Mac today. He played so well from the mid-range. Didn't even attempt a 3-pointer.
That's such a DeMar game,
points,
isn't it?
and he had a sneaky 10 assists too. He's one of
Shot 77%. I love DeMar DeRozan.
players.
When there was
he's
rumours
so
of him getting
good.
traded to
And
the
he
Heat
just
on the
looks
deadline,
like-
I was excited. I was very disappointed that he didn't get shipped to the Heat on the deadline, but
Could have been.
Yeah.
And a little resurgence from Rudy Gay as
I
well.
was going to
know.
say, I love that.
19 and 8, not bad.
Who was super efficient and like 19 points. They look like, Rudy Gay of old, which is awesome.
Yeah,
And that's probably all I've got to say on that one.
It looks
really.
from looking at the stat line, it looked like it was a pretty Spurs basketball game.
Yeah.
Pretty well rounded.
Yeah.
A lot of players scoring double digits.
Not a whole lot of threes taken as well,
Yeah.
which is a very Spurs sort of thing.
Spurs game. I think they're too quick to stop and shoot threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like that game was a good example of how well both De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan work in their respective teams. It's just a good example of showing that.
Lockie, I don't know if you because obviously you're pretty new to basketball. Have you seen much of DeMar at Toronto?
Nah.
Ooh,
So he started at Toronto. He was like, everyone thought that he would be one of those players that would just sort of never leave their team. And then he got pulled over to Spurs it was a Kawhi trade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the Kawhi trade, and the Toronto fans were absolutely livid.
Oh, dude, it was the biggest NBA drama I reckon I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
I was shattered because obviously I said before, DeMar was one of my favourite players. I was so disappointed. I loved him in Toronto.
And for Kyle Lowry as well, because they've got
he
the
was
best
spewing.
friendship in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to finish his career with Kyle Lowry somewhere.
I hope.
Probably Toronto.
I hope so. I hope that's one of the ones where they just bring him back like for his last season.
Oh,
Or like even if it's like a year. But yeah, I don't think we have a heap to talk about in that game, do we?
Nah.
no. DeMar looked really good. De'Aaron Fox looked really good, and that's sort of none of these guys are real
Ken
contenders.
Bazemore grabbed a heap of boards. Good
Yeah,
on him.
I think Chinnick should open up the next one.
Go on, Chin.
My time to shine. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I said this last week anyway, but I am a Mavs fan, but I've never watched a Mavs game in full. So this was my first time watching a Mavs game in full. But fuck, it was a good game to watch. Mavs and Rockets. I
Houston
don't know why I
Rockets.
just blanked on them, but Mavs and Rockets. They both played like so offensively. I was saying earlier they both played with such strong offense that I think both their defenses sort of
Didn't.
almost disappeared. And they both just went fucking ham on offense. James Harden particularly with 49 points.
It's the most efficient points I've ever seen him put up too. He was like
70%,
14,
yeah. Jeez.
49
And what's scary
points.
was that it was almost a 49-point triple-double.
Yeah,
Literally so
49, 9 and
close.
8.
And Russell Westbrook chucking such close to a triple double as well, right next to it.
yeah.
Yeah,
like it's-
because he was up with 31 as well. They both played like really fucking well.
I did
But,
not
like,
realize
obviously-
Kristaps put that stat line up.
Yeah, he had a killer.
Like, because I only saw snippets of the game. And
Yeah,
holy,
man,
39 16.
He played like fucking crazy. That was fun to watch because I've watched a lot of like Doncic highlights,
Doncic.
but not a lot of
Doncic.
Porzingis. Like I haven't really watched a lot of that. Even though Lockie sort of suggested that, I was like, oh wait, no, just watch the game and like, I'll see it there. And like he really fucking just came out of the gate.
especially against
I
the
was
small ball.
laughing. Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
oh,
And I was laughing a lot, messaging my brother throughout the game because he was watching it as well. I was messaging him saying that fucking Doris Burke, she just like froths Kristaps. Like every time
She's a big Knicks fan for background.
Look-
She's a huge Knicks fan, and he
well, it
used to play for
explains
Knicks.
it. Because every time he gets the ball, she's like, "Oh, Kristaps, look at him go! He's just so good. He's just so tall." And like, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because, like without a doubt, every time he was holding the ball, Doris came out of the gates like, "Man, this guy is just the best." But no, he played so fucking well. Obviously, I think one of the other games went overtime as well. But yeah, this one went overtime. And I think you could definitely see some of them, particularly Doncic kind of choked in the overtime. Doncic ended up fouling out in the last 2 minutes because he was playing quite well. And then when it hit overtime, he kind of just dropped off.
Three people fell out.
Yeah, and he had a triple-double too. He was only going to get...
And 8 turnovers.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was actually saying too, I don't know who was... I think it was only Locki and Mitch were in the Discord when I was saying this. But apparently, because first half ended 85-75, apparently that is the second highest scoring first half of this season, including before shutdown. And it's the highest first half the Mavs have had since 1983. So yeah, they offensively were just
That's
a
insane,
nightmare. I think because, like I said, the Rockets didn't really play much defense. Sorry, they played a lot more offense. And I think both
That's Mike
teams
D'Antoni
are
for you.
so just aggressive.
And I think we need to mention Trey Burke.
Yeah, 31.
Oh
Yeah.
holy shit, man!
So- Is that his first game for
8
Dallas?
from 10. Nah.
Yeah, pretty
Is it?
sure.
Because-
yeah.
Oh, did he get traded
Isn't
from Philly, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So currently for this season, he's averaging 31 points for Dallas.
Yeah, so it must have been his first game because
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, good on him for coming out and doing that because I don't think anyone would have expected him to be putting up those numbers.
no, he played
8
like
from
crazy,
10
and
from 3.
there were so
Fuck,
many
wow.
times. Yeah, so many times when you'd see Doncic run in, you're like, "Oh, he's going to go for it," and then he'd just feed it out to Trey,
Ping
and
it out,
he would just get a three. It was
He was...
shit like that was really nice to watch.
Crazy. He's got
Porzingis
such
was
a
on it with
developed
threes.
basketball mind at 22.
Doncic,
whatever it
yeah.
is.
Oh, dude.
It's nuts. It's
for
quite
sure.
scary. And the fact he's almost averaging a triple-double. So
Yeah.
young.
Because he's
It's
playing, because he's
nuts.
grown, because he's been playing against men for so long in such a high level, over in the
Absolutely.
Euro League.
Mm.
Yeah, crazy.
And Hardaway as well. He shot 5 from 8 3
Good man.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone
he
who
played
I
really
was
well too.
really impressed with, not on the Dallas, but over on the Rockets, was Rob Covington.
Why would no? I don't think it's Rockets. We're just
No, I thought Rob Covington did surprisingly well as a big man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do too bad. 13
his
11.
defensive, yeah. Considering, let me look up Rob Covington.
He got his
we
first
can talk about this
3 of
quickly.
the season too.
James
pretty much.
Harden, the most lackluster defensive player that in the NBA that people talk about most. 3 steals and 3 blocks from James Harden. That's
Yeah.
he actually
But that's what I
does
mean.
get
None
a lot
of them
steals.
really played a hard defense.
So, I know that they're going short ball, but Rob Covington is 6'7".
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Small boy.
Let me just Kristaps.
I think he's 7'3",
Right.
Kristaps.
He's
Spell that.
7'3".
Yeah.
Bloody
big
hell.
difference.
Jesus. Don't
And
let
then you got
Doris listen.
Boban
Fuck.
coming over, he's taller than that as well, isn't he?
I think he's 7'3" as
7'4".
well. Oh. What's Tyson Chandler? Because
dude,
he's on the
that's
Rockets, but he didn't play any minutes. I really like Tyson
That
Chandler.
frustrates me.
I really like Tyson
He should
Chandler.
be
He's
out
a
there.
bit of a
Defensive center.
Just gets a bit lost in this day and age.
yeah,
Yeah.
bit of a
Especially
liability
when the
on
big men
offense.
aren't playing towards the basket, he gets a bit lost. One thing I do want to mention is the sole reason Houston Rockets don't win championships is because they play 8 men and leave so many DNPs where all the
Yeah.
other teams go so deep into their roster. You
All
can't
this-
rely on 8 people.
All their
It's a-
stars
Yeah,
played over 40 minutes.
Crazy,
and,
right?
and the thing with that is when you get to the playoffs, those guys are run down.
Yeah.
Harden is a serial case for that. He gets to the playoffs and sort of
Well, you can't play
Not a
ISO
lot
ball
of
in playoffs all the time. It's not going to work. That's
No.
the problem.
he can't.
It's Mike D'Antoni.
And they're playing so fast pace as well. Like, look at the scores.
Yeah.
42 points in the first quarter. They're playing fast the whole time.
Yeah.
I think on that topic as well, the MVP of the Mavericks was definitely Antonius Cleveland, who apparently, according to the NBA app, played 1 second. So, good job, Antonius Cleveland.
I thought it was a good second.
1 second. I don't
He'll
know what
be
happened.
listening
What did
as
they?
well. He'll be listening.
Did they
He'll
put him
know that
on
we're
and then
gonna talk
change
about
their
him.
mind? Like,
He's a serial NBeanA listener.
yeah. That's why he's here. Yeah, I agree though, Brad. I actually didn't realize that they had just had 8 players on rotation the whole time. But then looking at it afterwards, I was like, oh my god, there's so many that just didn't play at all.
And they have DeMar Carroll, who's a very good player, and Luke Bamute
Look,
Yeah.
is very good as well. And then
Amute.
Chandler. Like, they've got,
centers that could be playing.
yeah.
100%. I think even on the Mavericks side though, like Doncic started kind of slowing down a bit towards the end. Like, you know, obviously you've been playing like a whole game of basketball, you're going to slow down
And
a
then
little bit.
some.
But because he played
looking-
42 minutes,
Looking chunky, the boy, as well, a little bit.
yeah, by the time it hit overtime, you could sort of see him struggling a bit more. But I don't know. I think maybe like spreading that out a bit better would, I don't know, but I'm not an expert. I'm not a coach.
I think
so
if you're a
can't
Dallas coach, though, you just want Luka on the floor.
Well, yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
literally. That's why it got stressful when he did foul out, because it was like, well, okay. Now it's like, you've
And-
got Porzingis, you've got Hardaway, but like, yeah, I don't know. Bit full on. Anything else to say about that one, or
No, I think that's
is
it.
that it?
Yeah, I've got one more
Cool.
thing to say about that one.
All the games? Oh yeah.
How the fuck does Austin Rivers get 20 minutes?
His dad's a coach.
Rivers.
He really, he just doesn't contribute much. He kind of puts up some shots and walks away. You know what I mean? Plays some defense, complains to the ref a little bit. That's his. You're paying him like $20 million to do that. Stupid. I could be doing that for 20 mil. I'd happily do that for 20 mil. Fuck
Do you
Austin
reckon
Rivers.
the only reason he's on an NBA roster is because his dad picked him up back when he was...
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and gave him minutes and gave him some statistics.
He's got the most punchable head in the NBA. He's just a schmarmy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come for me, Austin Rivers. You heard me. Call you out.
Oh, it's a formal challenge.
What are you going to do? Leave the bubble?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
I reckon your dad'd back me up, Austin Rivers. You pig. Look at ya. Grow up. That's all. That's all I had to say.
There you go.
Right,
Yeah, Austin
personal
Rivers. I
message
don't know
to
how he
Austin.
gets 20 minutes. 20 minutes a game. Just seems silly to me.
Yeah. Fair enough. Each to their own, I suppose. Cool. Well, that's that. The games at least.
what did we think of it for the first week of basketball?
It's so good to have it back.
Missed it. And
So
they're all high
good.
scoring too, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Good.
Fucking, yeah, they're all scoring high.
If you don't like that, you
Enjoyable
don't
to
like
watch.
NBA basketball.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we want to?
So I think-
Mitch,
Oh.
do you want to take it? You take it.
Yeah, so I think what we're doing now is we're just gonna, instead of doing the all-time starting five, because this podcast we've gone a bit longer than we thought. We got a bit into some of the games and stuff. So instead of going over all-time starting five, we're just gonna do our current and all-time favorite players, just like one from each. And I think that we should have young Locki Davies start us off.
Me.
Ooh. Lucky.
All right. Well,
Settle down, boys. Settle down.
Locki.
Jesus. All right. Well,
Give us that Locki magic. Come on, mate.
Them Locki magic. Oh my god. All right. So my favorite all-time. I'll start with my all-time. My favorite all-time player is Scottie Pippen.
Oh,
Good choice.
I
I
love
was
that.
not expecting that at all.
What were you expecting?
I don't know, but I love it.
Yeah, well, I've got a Scottie Pippen jersey. You know, I love
Thank
that
you,
jersey.
Granny Buzz.
And just watching. Hey,
Thanks, Granny Buzz.
yes, Granny Buzz. Props to her for that.
I'm gonna get her on the podcast.
Yeah. Scottie Pippen had just he was so underpaid for all the work he put in for the Bulls. Without obviously Jordan, of course you can't discredit Jordan for literally all the work he put in for the
Who?
classic all-time Bulls.
Never heard
But-
of him.
Can't say I know the guy. Yeah.
Michael Jordan, what? But Scottie
No,
Pippen,
Lockie, that's the guy that sings Thriller. Don't be an idiot. Come on.
whatever,
Get off
man.
it.
Look, all I'm saying is Scottie Pippen is deserves to be up there in greatest of all time second player talks. He did so much
Yes.
for that team. Backing them up, assist wise, board wise, scoring wise. He did it. He did a bit of everything. It was really cool. And going on
The
from Scottie
prototypical
Pippen,
forward from that too. He was
Yeah.
a prototypical forward of the
Yeah.
time, and if he played now, he'd be MVP for fucking 3 years
Easy
straight.
peasy.
No doubt about it.
yeah, and I like those kinds of players that have the ability to do it all, which is why my favorite player at the moment is Nikola Jokic.
Oh,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
He's very, sometimes people will say he's boring to watch, but then you just he's just very smart. He's so intelligent with how he plays, and he's got those
So much like
apparently shed a few
Sorry.
kilos as well.
No, it's all right.
no, he's a lot like Pau Gasol used to be. Just a way better
Yeah.
passer.
Yeah.
He's really cool to watch.
Totally. And it's so cool how well he's developed with the Nuggets team. He's
Yeah.
he's making it look so good. Would the Nuggets have been in championship talks a couple of years ago?
Don't think they even made the
That's
playoffs
my
2 years
question.
ago.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. They made the playoffs last year,
Wow.
won a series, then lost a series. That was they won 1-7, lost 1-7. But they had one massive game in the playoffs last year where Jokic played over an hour because it went to 4 OT. That was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was against Portland, I think. Yes. But yeah, Jokic is real huge. I love Jokic. Apparently he shed a few kilos as well.
Yeah, he's massive.
So he's,
Yeah, he's looking lean.
as.
considering he's quite often known as a bit of a chunky boy in the NBA, be good to see how he goes after this.
Yeah.
Go on, Hoetzel. You're
All right,
next.
well,
Yeah,
go on.
Hoetzel, let's hear
Go
it.
on, you started.
Well, I reckon I'm going to say my favourite player from the past, Mr. 9 out of 10, D Wade. Flash. He's just spectacular.
Mr. Can't retire.
Yeah, I don't know how to put into words what he's just a good player. So obviously, how is his third season in the NBA when he won Finals MVP with Shaq on his team? That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, he was sort of took a back seat to LeBron when he came. I'm pretty sure D Wade was never Miami's highest paid player. But
Yeah.
he was,
But when you think of Miami, you think of D-Wade, don't you?
yeah, definitely.
That's insane.
He's really got that same sort of work ethic that Jimmy Butler's got now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say my favourite player at the moment is Bam Adebayo. Just
Oh,
because
I
of
like
the
that.
name.
I thought you were going to say Jimmy.
I do love Jimmy, but got a Jimmy Butler jersey. But Bam is just, oh god, he's just so athletic. He's undersized for a centre, but he's just got hops. Gets high into the sky. I love him. Can just do so much as a centre. Can get your assists.
Yeah.
He loves the ball just going through him, even if he's not scoring. And
Imagine him in a small ball roster like on the Rockets or something like that.
Oh,
It'd
that'd
just
be-
be...
Whoa.
he would thrive in that situation, I think. I think he's
Oh,
thrived
it'd blow the NBA open.
under Spoelstra as well. I think Spoelstra's really helped Bam become a better
Yeah.
player. It was a shame that he was sort of stuck behind Whiteside starting,
Ugh.
but
Ugh.
yeah, that's definitely he's definitely my favorite player at the moment. If anyone's listening and feels like buying me a BAM jersey, feel free to. Anyway,
Get old mate that played a second for.
We'll give you a shout out on the pod if
yeah.
you do.
Yep.
Maybe.
So I reckon,
We'll say your initials.
yeah, Mitch, you're up then, I reckon. You were talking to me then. So, go on.
So you were talking to me then. So all time favourite got to be the legend, Larry Bird. As a
Hey.
Boston fan,
Yeah.
I just
No surprises.
could do
there.
it all. Electric. Just had that clutch gene. Just magic to watch. He's insane.
Magic,
and
you say?
a big thing with that was while I was playing rep, because I was 32 when I was younger, because that's the number Dad had and everything like that. And then one year when I went up an age group, because the top age players get priority with their numbers, I wanted 32 and couldn't get it, so they gave me 33. I was like, I don't really want to be 33, blah, blah, blah. And then I found Larry Bird. That's how 33 has become my lucky number, and blah, blah, blah. Story goes on.
That.
But yeah, I mean, he's just seriously so good to watch. Help modernize basketball. Just him and Magic going at it back in the day. All of those shots and his trash talk and him in the 3-point contest. Just awesome. Love him. And then favourite currently is just so tough because there's so many good players at the moment. Like, obviously,
Seriously.
I think Jason Tatum's definitely top 2 for that. Just just the things he's learned from Kobe and things like that. You can see the direct direct comparison in some of the moves with that fade and thing. And he's already developed the clutch gene, and he's just awesome to watch. And then, I love Jokic as well with Locki. I don't want to copy him, so I'll say Jason Tatum, but I do love Jokic as well. Just a big man that can pass the ball and do a bit of everything is just so good to watch.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it seriously is. But yeah, I think I'll handball it over to Chin now.
Oh, that's me.
Okay.
Okay.
This might be the first time we see the same player twice. We might see this favourite all time be the favourite current.
Grow up, Brad.
probably. Nah, kidding. Nah. All right. Favorite all time. I'm gonna be the ultimate bandwagoner. I'm gonna the bandwagon's coming past. I'm hopping on full force. It's gonna be Michael Jordan, but that's just because he is probably the player I've seen a lot of because of the documentary, and then just like in general as well. Yeah, I don't know.
I
That's
hear he
probably
was quite good at basketball.
Pardon?
I hear he was quite good at basketball.
That's what I've heard. But I don't know. I think his album "Bad" was probably better than his basketball career. But yeah, current player again. No one's gonna see this coming, but it's gotta be Doncic.
What?
Because just
No.
I know, it's crazy. But after today, like Porzingis is climbing up there. I know I'm crazy that one game changes my opinion, but as someone who hadn't seen much of it, like, yeah, I don't know. Porzingis's game today was like fucking crazy and fun to watch. So
Digits.
Very
I
young.
don't know. I enjoyed it.
Lots to come.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's me. Has everyone been or
No, Brad
someone else?
Me.
Brad.
You skipped Grandpa Bean.
All right, I'll hand it to Grandpa
Bean.
Bean.
He said that's so sad.
You skipped Grandpa Bean.
Made this joke before, but yeah, suck shit when you guys were at my funeral making that joke.
Oh.
Is this going to be a recurring thing every Beans podcast?
Yeah,
Brad's just telling us that he's going to die before it.
suck shit. I go first. No, my favorite player of all time is Kobe Bean Bryant. It was the first game I played and fell in love with basketball purely because of that man. Yeah, I think that's like much. I think he's should be a lot higher in the GOAT conversation. I have a lot of points
100%.
for him to put him up a lot higher than what people give him credit for, and what he's done to basketball as far as develop other players and keep his sort of style of play in Jason Tatum, in Kawhi Leonard, to keep his sort of play going is like a huge testament to how much he meant to the game. And people sort of didn't see while it was happening until he unfortunately left, how much of a dint he's left. And then, I think he's just one of the greatest of all time. And I think my favourite player now is Stephen Curry.
What? Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I know. I'm Mr. Predictable for these
That's
ones.
crazy. Oh, no.
I think...
Who's that? He doesn't play in the NBA at the moment.
No. He plays for Mavericks. He had a good game in the preseason. Didn't do too well. In the first game, found out. No, Steph Curry is, I think, one of the most revolutionary players of all time.
100%.
No one has changed the game like this man's changed the game. One of the most marketable faces ever. As far as NBA, everyone wants him. As far as brand stuff, he's just one of the best. He's changed the game forever. I don't think the game will ever recover from it. Look at
Inspirational, man.
Inspirational.
Look at Curry, man.
And I think when his career's over, he's gonna have to be top, 15 of all time. He could really creep up there. Because I think
100%.
as a shooter, he's gonna have a prime that lasts into sort of
Kyle Korver sort of
36 years
age
old.
bracket, Like how old is Korver? Like 37-ish?
Yeah,
37. And
just
I
goes
think
to show.
LeBron's such a good example of how longevity in this day and age is possible.
When you look after
to
your body,
go
right?
close to
Carter.
40. Pardon?
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter's another one. But yeah, I think his prime is going to last a lot longer than what people hope, because I know people hate Curry, but he's just spectacular.
So inspirational,
player to watch, and that's why he's my favourite. He's so inspirational. And Lockie, as this week's host, I think you wrap it up this week.
Alrighty.
If we're done, is there
are we
anything
going to do
else?
who we're looking at next week?
Oh,
A player that we're looking at?
Let's rattle
I'm
it
gonna
real quick, I reckon.
keep with Simmons, because Simmons hasn't actually played yet. He's playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to be the same. I'm going to keep with
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson and Nurkic. Just keep looking on both of them, really. Robinson hasn't played yet, but I'm sure he'll light it up.
I'll jump in with, I'm going to have to say Porzingis. Just after today's game, that was really enjoyable to watch. And I'm keen to see what he does
Hopefully
in the
he keeps
coming
it up.
week. Yeah.
I'll go next. My big one's going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for OKC.
Oh, good
That's
pick.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Just the young pups. They're versing the Jazz tomorrow, so it'll be good to see him and Donovan Mitchell going at it, two young guns. And then, I like Chris Paul that'll go alongside that. But yeah, young man Shai.
Yeah, Lockie, you're up.
Hell
You're last.
Well, I'm going with Hoetz's fave. Keep an eye on Bam this week.
Bam
boys.
Adebayo. What's he going to do? Just
Okay.
20-10-10?
It'll be cool to,
Hopefully
man.
play basketball.
Hopefully play some basketball. Well, if that's everything,
That's everything.
thank you for listening in. Next week, Brad is going to be doing it live from his coffin because he's going to be dead, the old man. Next week, we're going to talk about our old-time starting fives. Going to do a bit of a recap on next week's games. And a point we didn't get around to this week, overlooked rookies, which I have a bit to say on that.
Keep your notes down. Let's do it next week.
Exactly.
Also, another small thing to plug before we go. Brad, you're planning on doing some kind of 2K stream?
I think what we're gonna do. We're gonna do
Bean
the
stream.
beans stream on my channel on Twitch. Let's put it on Instagram when we do it.
We'll link it up.
Let's chuck
Yeah,
it on.
for sure. Yeah.
All right.
So
But
if you're not sick
sometimes
of us
this
yet,
week-
come watch us on stream.
I'm watching us grab some questionable shots on 2K.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's my specialty.
That's been it from your Magic Bean.
That's it from your favourite E-grade team.
We just cut it off there with some
Right.
match games. That's the end of it.
Thank
Wrap
you
it
for
up
watching.
there.
See you later.
Watching?
Magic,
They
magic,
can't
magic,
see
magic,
me,
magic.
can they? Fuck.
Beans.
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 Magic Mike. Someone say Channing Tatum.
All right.